When someone you love dies, it's not just them you lose, it's who you were with them. When someone you love dies, the world not only takes them, it quietly takes the roles you played around them too. And suddenly you're no longer the one they called, the one they needed, the one who mattered in that specific way. And it can feel like you've lost part of your identity, part of who you are. And if you ever felt that confusion, like your life no longer fits, you are not alone. And today I'll share what happens to our roles after loss, why this kind of grief often goes invisible, and 3 steps to help you start making sense of the shift and find your way forward. And if we haven't met yet, I'm Jan, and I've lost my mum when I was 18 years old. And when my mum died, I didn't just lose her. I lost the version of me who existed in relationship to her. It's something I didn't understand until I started unraveling me, until I started exploring what was going on inside of me. And before my mum died, I had roles. I knew who I was in this world in relation to her. I was her son. I was the one who made her laugh. I was the one who tried to hold things together when she was struggling. And after she was gone, those roles just disappeared. And I kept reaching for responsibilities that no longer existed. I kept trying to live out parts of me that had no place anymore. It was like the script changed, but I was still playing the old character. And that's something we don't talk about enough. How we grieve the loss of who we were when they were alive. And yes, we grieve the person we lost, but we also grieve the version of ourselves that existed with them. And no one prepares you for that. Far too little people talk about the roles you lose when someone you love dies. I didn't just lose my mum, I also lost the person I was when she was here. I lost the son, the caretaker, the safe one, the one who felt responsible and needed by her. And for a while I didn't know who I was anymore. Grief can sometimes take part of your identity by taking away the roles that you had with your loved ones. And suddenly you're no longer the supporter, the sibling, the partner, or the child in the same way anymore. And that can leave you feeling unanchored, invisible, and even lost. And I didn't stop being a son when my mom died, but suddenly I couldn't be a son to her anymore like I used to. And that's a hidden grief and pain that often goes unspoken. When someone we love dies, it's not just them that we bury. It's sometimes the person we were when they were alive too. Think about it. Your loved one wasn't just a mom or a partner or a sibling. They were the one who texted you, "Did you eat today?" Or the one who knew your mood by your breathing. The person who maybe handled the finances, who made holidays magical, who waited up for you to get home. If you were a daughter, or a caregiver, or a protector, or a best friend, what happens to the role when they're no longer here? When someone we love dies, it's not just their absence that hurts, because they used to be the mirror through which we saw ourselves in this world. They were the ones who knew us. They were the ones who grounded and anchored us into this world. But when they're gone, all of it disappeared. And what's left behind is confusion. Who am I now that they're no longer here? Who am I without the person who made me feel safe? Who am I when the one who knew me best isn't here to remind me who I am? That kind of grief feels weird. It shows up in quiet moments when you laugh and it doesn't feel right. When you succeed and you want to tell them, or when you look in the mirror and you don't quite recognize yourself. It can feel like, in a way, that grief strips away the relationships that shaped our identity. And in that emptiness, we can feel directionless sometimes, like we're floating with no gravity that is holding us down. They were your go-to, your constant, your mirror. And when they're gone, some of those roles disappear, or they try to find new places to land. And that's where the real unraveling begins. 3 things can happen to a role when someone dies, and each one feels different, sometimes even confusing. Now let me walk you through them. The role gets reassigned. Sometimes someone else steps in and takes over the role. For example, maybe after your dad died, your uncle started mowing the lawn. Or after your partner passed, your friend began calling you every night to check in. Or maybe after your mom died, your aunt tried to organize the family gatherings. It can feel comforting, but also a bit strange, because even if the task gets done, the connection doesn't always carry over. They're doing what they did, but it doesn't feel like them, like your loved one. And that's a quiet kind of grief, when the shape of the role remains, but the soul of it is missing. Number 2, you take on the role. Other times, you pick it up. Not because you're ready, but because there's no one else. Maybe you started doing the finances. Maybe you became the one who checks in on everyone. Or maybe you organized holidays even though you never wanted to. Or maybe even you became the calm one, the strong one, the glue that holds all together. And here's the hard part. You are still grieving them, while also grieving the version of you that didn't have to hold everything up. Sometimes taking on their roles can feel like love, and sometimes like losing yourself a little more. Be careful not to overdo it, and get some help from others if it gets too much for you. The role just ends. And then there are the roles that simply disappear. The ones no one steps into. The ones you can't pick up. Like, for example, no one calls you by your silly nickname anymore. No one makes a meal the way she did. Or maybe they had a hobby of keeping a record of the family's history by creating photo albums. But everyone leads a stressful life, and no one really has time to continue this hobby. So it stops. And those are all losses that no one else can see, but you feel them every day. And I want you to know that that feeling, that loss of identity, it's real and it's valid. So try to give yourself the compassion that your loved one would give to you right now. You're becoming someone new, and becoming always feels like unraveling at first. Grief takes away, but it also clears the space. After my mom died, the hardest part was missing her. And I did miss her every day, but what I didn't expect was how much I would miss myself. The me that used to feel needed. The me that used to feel like a son. The me that used to know who I was in this world. I tried to hold it together, but deep down I was grieving a version of me I wasn't sure I'd ever find again. And 2 years after losing my mom, I still felt directionless. And I didn't know who I was, so I did something kind of drastic. I left. I traveled. I wandered. I stripped life back to its bare essentials because I needed to hear myself again. And in that space, in nature, in movement, in stillness, and in meditation, I slowly started rebuilding myself. Not the person I used to be, but someone new. A version of me that grew around the loss. Still holding the old version close. Someone who carries the grief, but also the growth. Someone who knows that love changes form, but never leaves. It took time to realize that this identity loss wasn't something that I could run from. It was part of the grief. And slowly, piece by piece, I began to rebuild. I had to ask, who do I want to become now? How can I carry their love forward into this new version of me? Grief doesn't just take, it transforms. And if we let it, it can show you new strength, new depth, and new identity. So, what do you do when the roles change? When the person is gone and everything you used to be in that relationship feels unclear? There's no simple fix, but there are 3 things you can try. Let's start here. Name the role you miss and what it meant to you. So often we feel a heavy ache but can't quite explain it. And that's because grief is sneaky like that. It hides in invisible spaces. So take a moment and ask yourself, what role did I play when they were alive? Maybe you were the listener, the joker, the caretaker. And what role did they play for me? Maybe they made you feel important, loved, grounded. Write it down, speak it out loud. Give shape to what feels missing because clarity is the beginning of healing. Let yourself mourn the version of you that existed in that role. This is the part no one teaches us. It's not just them we miss, it's who we were with them. And that deserves to be mourned. So give yourself the time and the space to do so. Begin rebuilding identity from the inside out, not just the outside in. Here's what I've learned. You don't have to rush to replace the role. You don't have to become the strong one, the fixer, the one who holds it all together, unless you want to. This is your invitation to ask, who do I want to be now for me? What do I want to carry forward? And what can I let go of? Some roles might come back in a new form and others won't. But you can still be whole even if your identity looks different now. You're not just what you lost. You're also everything you choose to become from here on out. If this video helped you feel even a little more seen, I'd love to have you here. I make videos about navigating grief, healing through community, and holistic living, because grief isn't just pain, it's love that's still looking for a home. And this space here, it's for people like us learning to live with that love. And if this helped you in any way, share it with someone who might need to hear it today. And if you struggle with heavy mornings, here's a video that I made for you that you should watch. See ya.